kind of right at at your. If I look straight, it's right at your bulge, right at your. This is what I was gonna say.
Oh yeah.
Listen.
Oh yeah. What were you going to say, baby?
I was going to say, you were talking before we started about how we don't have any listeners.
Yeah,
we don't have that many.
No.
So there's a girl that I went to college with, and she's homosexual. And her girlfriend posted, I follow her, she's cool. She posted a thing on her story. She said, does anybody have any podcast recommendations for like a silly, funny podcast? I'm tired of all the serious stuff. And you know what?
What?
I didn't tell her to listen to this podcast. You know why?
Because you don't enjoy the podcast.
Because she'd probably be offended.
Who cares?
And probably would think I was an asshole.
Why?
Because of the stuff I say?
Why don't you recommend the podcast?
I just thought, oh no, now she's going to think that I'm crazy.
Our lesbo numbers are in the toilet.
Right. We do need to get our lesbian numbers up.
Our lesbo numbers needs to be up. Now, is lesbo an acceptable term for carpet munchers?
Why wouldn't it be?
Is that an acceptable term for carpet munchers?
Carpet muncher.
I need to.
That's what I mean. If she heard this, she'd be like, oh.
How do you know? A lot of people have senses of humor. Not everybody's
Huner?
Huner. That's my uncle's name, Uncle Huner.
He's
used
funny.
to take me out behind the woodshed and finger my butt.
All right.
What?
I don't want to hear about that sick shit.
Uncle Huner would take me out behind the woodshed and finger my butthole. Oh!
You like that shit.
I've been watching the podcast, because I have to, there's a lot of work that goes into this for no reason. Thanks for watching.
Hey, listen, we have a lot of, you know what? We're always kind of talking shit on our listeners. We do have great listeners.
I love our listeners. I love everybody who supports the show. You're in a very elite group of people. That's the thing, is the people that enjoy what I do really enjoy it.
Amen, brother.
And if enthusiasm equaled numbers, we'd be the #1 podcast in the world. But I need to step up. I feel like I'm very half asleep most of the time. I don't know. Like, I don't have a lot of
No,
energy.
you know what it is you're distracted.
I've been watching. Well, yeah, because I am doing a lot of stuff. I need we need a dedicated person on a computer too for when I say, oh, let's find a pharmacy or something. Someone else is looking up pharmacies.
Yeah, that's why you're distracted. Yeah. And then when, let's say there's moments when I'm having fun with our guest, then that makes you upset because you're distracted.
No.
When I'm laughing and...
No, when you and Lizzie, listen, let's not get into that. But I've been watching, Daniel Tosh has a new podcast.
Boo.
It's good. It's the only thing.
Is it called Tosh.0?
It's called Tosh Show. It's good.
Does he talk about internet clips?
He makes me feel bad about myself, though, because we're like the same age and he's so wildly successful and I'm not.
Because he had that Tosh.0 show. But he has that mean, like, he has that Anthony Jeselnik, like,
I have to watch some of his comedy. I'm not really familiar with his comedy.
You gotta be like crazy dark stuff.
I don't know. We'll see. I'll watch some of his stand-up specials and I'll try to emulate Daniel Tosh and hopefully mirror his career while in my
And he's very
years.
he's very palatable.
He seems like a nice guy.
No, but the way he looks, it's very
he's a good-looking guy.
He's just like a white guy or whatever.
He doesn't look like me.
Sorry about that.
He doesn't act like.
Well, you're not white. That's why, because you're a Cherokee.
I'm 1/8 Cherokee. Yeah. Well, we do have a guest. We've been making him wait all day long. This is somebody from. This is a childhood friend of mine. A childhood friend of mine.
Okay.
I've known him since childhood.
I have a few of those.
No, you don't.
I'm still in my childhood, technically.
Yeah, just because you're friends with a few kids doesn't mean that they're your childhood friends. You're just a weirdo. You're like Michael Jackson. You're like the female Michael Jackson.
So, I like going to Disneyland.
What was the song you were going to sing? Wasn't there a song?
About being at Disneyland.
Oh, yeah. And then our guest is there waiting. Can we see our guest while Amanda sings her song?
Yo, I'm at Disneyland with the fam. Yo, every time I walk by a stand. Yo, I need a churro or ice cream. Or maybe popcorn or some clam chowder. It's hard to eat healthy at Disneyland. All the best food is at Disneyland. Lollipops,
churros, ice cream, popcorn, frozen lemonade when it's hot, baby, cheeseburgers, french fries, chicken strips, all my favorite things to eat on my special trip.
To Disneyland, I love Disneyland. I love all the treats at Disneyland. You wanna hop on a verse of this?
No, this is all you.
I'm supposed to
Be on a diet, but I don't care, cause when I'm at Disneyland, it's out of my hair, and I eat lots of churros, and I drink lots of cocktails by the pool, and know what? Who cares? It's cool, cause you're on vacation, baby.
Churros,
Churros,
ice cream, french fries, chicken strips, burgers,
urinal cakes,
pizza,
urinal cakes,
urinal cakes.
urinal cakes.
Oh, wait, I meant funnel cakes.
Urinal cakes. All right, we have a guest. He's look at him sitting there patiently.
Sorry about that. I had to get that
Poor
off
guy.
my chest.
Sitting there. Do you have headphones, Chuck?
I have ear pods. Will that work?
Yeah. Did they have a mic
Okay.
on them?
All right. Yeah, let me do that.
Because that helps with the delay situation.
Feedback. Okay.
I know you're not really.
How's that?
You're like show business adjacent, I guess. You're not in.
You're not in the biz, I guess.
You're not in the biz. Really.
I'm not
Like-
in the
not like
biz.
we are,
No,
anyway.
I'm in a different biz, I guess. you could
You're
say.
still in the entertainment business, right? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this
What a
is
Yeah.
wonderful
I mean-
office. What a beautiful place to draw. It's lovely.
Oh, thanks.
ladies and gentlemen, this is Chuck Dillon, Chucky Dillon from Glenlock Street.
Hello, everybody.
Glenn-
Please, no E at the end.
Glenlock Street.
No, I grew up on Algard.
Algard, that's
Yeah,
right. Algard
both
Street.
playground.
You don't have
Algard
an accent,
Street's
though.
Chucky Dillon.
You
No,
don't have much of
Yeah.
a Philly accent.
No, I don't. Well, I live in Massachusetts now, and I spent a good amount of time in South Jersey.
well, that doesn't help. That doesn't help with that
know.
accent.
But it comes out. My wife says it comes out when I'm angry or when I'm tired.
Yeah.
She says it kind of
Brendan, too, or when he's drinking a little.
Yeah.
When I've had a few,
Yes.
Wow.
when I've had a few
Yeah.
cups of wine, that's the same thing with me when I'm tired. And you know why it is? It's because the Philadelphia accent is it's just lazy talking. There's
it's
no
like-
enunciation.
Not
That's
like
right.
putting your lips
Well, that's for
together.
years in New Jersey, everyone was telling me I mumbled, and I'm like, I don't think I mumble. Everyone at back home hears me. And I realized, like, oh, that's my accent.
Yeah. Yo,
Totally my accent.
you go
Everything runs together.
you go downstairs, give me a glass of water.
Well, when you
Right.
think about it, too,
Yeah.
everybody in
Yeah.
Philly is drunk most of the time. I
That's
feel.
true
Also.
too. Yeah. Philadelphia
That's
is
true as well.
does kind of rival. Actually, Boston is the drunkest town I've ever been in.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
mean, you're just
I
walking-
live about an hour outside of Boston now.
And you just see
But people love to drink out here now.
and fight. I mean, it's like Philly's a pretty drunk,
Yes.
violent town, but I mean, Boston is just like if you go out, if you just stand on a street corner between the hours of 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. in
That's right.
Boston, you're going to see drunk guys. You're going to see at least 2 fights in those 2
Yeah.
hours.
Just over nothing, too.
Yeah.
Just walking
like,
down the
who
street,
you looking
just a
at?
guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice
When we
jersey,
first
you
moved
queer.
up here, I think the Patriots won the World, or not the World Series, the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I was working at home, and I look out. We were in like a housing community, and I look out, and there's a guy. I mean, this is the dead of winter in February. You know, I look down, and there's a guy that's in like boxer shorts and a tank top, just wandering around. And I'm like, what the heck? And then I notice his wife comes out because the day after the Super Bowl comes
And
out.
she's in a
like,
bikini top.
retrieves him and just takes him back home. I was like, oh my God.
Just blacked out.
Wow.
Yeah, it really is.
That's crazy.
There should be, maybe we should do some kind of contest between Philly and Boston
Well,
to
remember
see
when
who's
the
more drunk and
Eagles won? That was
who's more drunk and who's more racist. Because that
Right.
I
Yeah,
think Boston
Is
edges
more
out
racist?
Philly. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
But are there as many black people
That's
in
what I was
Boston as
just
there are in
thinking.
Philly?
That's what I was just thinking.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I
Why
think
You used to be very obsessed with
Philadelphia has more. Yeah.
Yeah, you used to take account.
I used to be obsessed.
Yeah, you used to be very obsessed with the number of black people
Yeah, I used to keep
everywhere.
the tally.
I
Sure.
remember when we were little. So I've known Chuck since we were like 4 years old.
Aw.
Yeah. Yeah.
We went to like preschool together, didn't we? At like Vogue?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we went to Vogue and then went to Distant, which is what kindergarten was.
Kindergarten.
Right?
And then St. Leo's.
Yeah, and then St. Leo's for 8 years.
Wait, did we have the same kindergarten teacher?
Mrs. Reed?
Mrs. Reed. That's right.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah.
Wait, was Mrs. Reed a black lady?
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, she's super nice. She's a
One.
great lady.
So there's
Great
one
lady.
in Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah. She's the one.
We got to keep track.
No, that's funny. I haven't thought about. It's weird because I have a 6-year-old daughter now, and I realize that she's going to remember some of this stuff for the rest of her life.
These are some of the friends that she's going to know for the rest of her life too.
I don't
think
know
of that.
because we're like where we grew up. Everybody lived in the same house for their whole lives.
Nobody moved.
Nobody moved.
I guess
it wasn't-
I guess in our neighborhood people switch schools and
Well, we can't afford to live in our neighborhood anymore, so
can't afford to live anywhere.
kind of, yeah. Well, hopefully, this having a world-renowned cartoonist on the podcast will get our numbers up, and we'll all be financially
Thank you.
So this is all depending on you here.
Yeah,
Chuck.
Chuck's got to. You got to be. You got to be a millionaire by now, right?
No. No.
Look at that. So
I often ask myself, why do I do this? And I come to the conclusion that, I'm 51 now. I don't know how to do anything else because I've been doing it so long.
Yeah.
And I wish I made money at it, but, I make enough for me.
yeah.
But and maybe to buy beer on the weekends, but that's about it,
Yeah. Yeah, that's a similar. Chuck and I had a similar career path where we just.
Yeah.
Well, animation is there just not that or illustrating. There's just not that much.
There's plenty of work. It just doesn't pay
Right.
great.
Yeah.
Like you have to really get up there. And you have to get really lucky, which is a big, huge part of it, unfortunately. And then, right now with the internet, like, it used to be that you sent a postcard out and hopefully you got an art director's attention. But now, like, art directors are inundated with tons of social media stuff that it's hard to get recognized. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's happened with.
Same with comedians. Yeah.
Yeah, with comedy, with everything, music.
Yeah.
Like it's like there's so many people who want to like. There's a lot of people who would love to be an illustrator or a comedian or a musician because it's obviously that's like it's better than driving a trash truck or whatever.
Right.
And
exactly.
well, I mean, depends on, some people just like, I like driving jobs. I've never been a trash man, but I'm saying that it's like, there needs to be like there needs to be a filter before people can I don't know. It's like, there's too many people who want to do things who it's just like, listen, it's not this. I get that you love music and I get that you love art.
You
and
just
I get
don't
that you
got
love
it.
comedy, but it's just not, it's not for you. And you're gumming up the works.
Yeah.
You're gumming up the works for there are a handful of people who are more than capable and who can have a career in this, but you're
weird,
creating
like,
these stumbling blocks for them.
There's this weird confidence too, this sort of like blind confidence of people who think, like I'm thinking more, I guess, of like
Comedy,
comedians where it's just like, don't you hear yourself?
Well, you
or,
can.
I don't know. It's
that's
strange.
one.
Yeah. I often wonder if they have a mom that's like, "You're doing great, honey." It's like, maybe you should listen to people that aren't your mom.
But I feel like I feel like there's more of with what Chuck does though. There's a more definitive equalizer.
I mean, you either can draw or
like
you can't.
yeah. I mean, you can. It's like you can't really fake what you do.
I can't draw for shit.
Yeah, that's true.
And with comedy, it's like you can study it, and there's a lot of successful business-minded people in comedy who just figure out a comedic formula and are very driven.
A voice and a cadence but art
with
is
art
like,
you have to. I mean, art you can fake too, like visual art, art, like be some
high
kind of
art,
painter who
concept
just
art.
Yeah, a lot of the AI stuff right now is irritating a lot of illustrators.
And when you say
People are
AI,
saying like,
when you say AI, you're talking about anal intruders, right?
Yeah. They just come in right through the window, like that one right there, while you're working, because you're so engrossed in your work and you're not even paying attention. And before you know it.
And the sex toy, the anal intruder, didn't you design the box for that?
Yes. Yeah, that's the work I don't talk about.
You don't have that on your resume, on your website? Which is, what is your website? Chuck, is it chuckdillon.net?
Yeah, chuckdillon.net, and then I think I'm on Instagram at Chuck Dillon.
And that has is your personal phone number featured anywhere on there?
I don't think so.
Well, you'll find out after this podcast.
Not. It might say for serious inquiries only. But,
okay. Oh, well, then that'll deter any kind of
goofballs.
That'll deter them all.
You illustrate for Highlights magazine?
Yeah, I did I haven't worked for them for about a year and a half, but for many years I did the hidden pictures.
Yes.
And then I did, the back cover where it has like what's wrong.
Yes.
It's kind of like a Where's Waldo.
Yes.
I did those for a lot of years, and I'm not the only one. There are a ton of other illustrators, but I was one of their go-to guys for that stuff. So I've done, I think, over 150 hidden pictures for them. And then, just kind of, the work dried up. That's fine. So I'm moving on and, doing children's books now. So,
well, how's the work dried up? Because we get Highlights now that I have, 2 little kids. I'm back in the world of Highlights magazine, which is, I got to say, if you're a parent at home, and sorry, Chuck, if there's bad blood between you and the Highlights people, but
we love it.
I can't recommend it enough because I really do think it really. I mean, there's a lot of things, and you have a kid too, so this, that like when you have a kid, it reminds you of a lot of things from when you were a kid that you forgot about.
Yeah.
And Highlights, I realize, like, our daughter Marley's very excited when there's new Highlights magazines and High Five and whatever, the Jack and Jill, whatever the other ones are. So she's it's like, oh, I remember that. It's very exciting to get mail addressed to you when you're a kid.
Yeah.
But then
absolutely.
The lessons that it teaches, I mean, it really does get through to the kids. Like it teaches you, I don't know. I just think it's a really good magazine, and it's probably cheap.
Yeah, that's what I always loved about it, because it was so wholesome. You know what I mean?
Very wholesome.
And the hidden pictures are
the hidden pictures. Well, I have some questions about these hidden pictures. I'm going to tell a story real quick though about the Highlights. So our daughter, when we go on trips and or go to a restaurant or whatever, we let her use the iPad. She doesn't use the iPad outside of any kind of drive over 40 minutes or if we're going to go someplace and we want to be able to eat a meal without,
Yeah.
But so we went to, I guess when we went to Big Bear? We went somewhere. Maybe it's when we got back from Philly. So she was on her iPad a lot because when we go to Philly, she, whatever. We're on vacation. She uses her
traveling
iPad
a lot. Yep.
So she was like downloading a lot of games, like not costing us money, but these like, these bullshit rip-off games that are just like basically all ads. And then some of them are kind of like, I feel like nefarious, where it's just like, what is this? This is weird and evil.
Yeah. Just the Russians gathering your information.
Something like, I don't know what the point of it is, but so I sat down with her and, was like, well, let's go through these games. And she got like really kind of upset too, because I was like, listen, there's like, just trying to explain to her that there's like, a lot of these things are tricks. Like that looks like a cool game. Like they have this thing. It looks like, oh, well, it's cute kittens or whatever. So it's going to attract you to get it. But then when you get it, it's just ads. And then you're going to see something that you wish you didn't see. And so we had this talk and she was like kind of emotional about it for whatever reason. Cause I think she felt like she did something bad. And she knows when I said like, hey, if you get that feeling like in your tummy, like, oh, I don't think I should be doing this. That's probably right, or whatever. So whatever. It was a great little talk we had. And then we got a new Highlights magazine, and somebody had drawn a picture of a dick on the cover.
I was going to say, there's porn in there. What the hell?
It was a centerfold of Tom Selleck.
Finally did it.
With the big hairy balls hanging out. No.
What the hell?
There was, the issue was called Big Hairy Balls, and then the hidden picture was... stuff hidden in a guy's butt crack. No, there was an article. There was a thing in there of like navigating the internet. And
Yeah.
she ran in. I was in the kitchen masturbating, so that was bad because she ran in and she came running in the kitchen and was like, "Daddy, look!" and was like, "Look, this is what we were talking." Like she was so excited, and I was like so happy to see that in the magazine that it kind of punctuated what we were talking about.
Yeah, like, did you see something? Have you ever felt like you saw something you weren't supposed to? Or if someone wants to give you your password, don't give them any information, just stuff like that. But it's so easily digested by kids, and it's written in such a way that they she really absorbed it.
Right, and they're so innocent. They're not thinking anybody's going to harm them or anybody's out for anything. They just want to play the game.
I know.
And she loves the hidden pictures. We always do that together. And here's my question. Why is there? Okay, here's what you're always going to. Here's some things that are going to pop up in every hidden picture.
A ruler,
a pencil, a toothbrush, a banana.
Yeah.
What's another?
The banana
magnifying
is the
glass.
number one hidden object in highlight.
That's also the number one hidden object in my pants.
Right. Yeah, highlights has certain rules. When I was working on hidden pictures, you can't hide anything near the crotch or the butt of an animal or a person. So that was always kind of funny to me.
Yeah.
And then, I tried to get away from, the typical objects like sailboat, banana, pencil, especially when people hid like a nail or like a tack. It's like, come on. But so I pushed myself. But, it's hard because you're working on them and you're kind of like, I just want to get this done.
And
so
it's easy because it's just like a rectangle. Yeah, it's just a shape, a ball or whatever. It's just a circle. Okay, I'll hide a ball, hide a triangle.
It's a line. It's a piece of hair.
Yeah.
It's a
you remember
lampshade.
the awkward family photos, hidden pictures for immature adults we did. It was so fun. Because obviously it was outside of highlights, but to hide things that were really inappropriate that we were just having a ball hiding. A lot of the hidden picture artists that worked on that.
Well, what about the people at Disney who hid like a penis in the cover of Little Mermaid?
I have a story for you.
Okay.
Well, and you're
I'm part of the National Cartoonist Society, and 2 years ago, I was nominated for an award for something I did, along with a cartoonist named Bill Morrison. And Bill Morrison is the guy who created that Little Mermaid cover. And he claims, I don't know if it's true, if he's just covering his tracks. It's kind of a funny story that, that front cover, that VHS cover, had some coral on it that looked like a penis. And it became this big stink, and so you have all these, bored mothers, I guess, at home, and bored dads looking for penises in every illustration now ever since that happened. Well, I lost the Reuben Award to Bill Morris.
To that pervert you lost? That's not fair.
That really says a lot about Chuck. If they're like, well, it's between Chuck and this
and
pervert.
the penis guy.
I should have added more penises to my work.
Exactly. Hide more shit. I mean, do people do they do that on purpose? Like animators or, as like
I've heard about it happening, especially at Disney, because usually people aren't very happy at Disney. When they were doing like hand-drawn animation, they would hide things. But I don't know if you can get away with it now.
Yeah.
You probably could. I feel like people aren't never mind.
What?
There's a ride. There's a Disneyland ride where one of the characters kind of says something. You're like, that sounds like it shouldn't say that. Like you shouldn't say that.
Sounds like it says the N-word, Goofy, in this new Disney ride. A friend of mine pointed out. Yeah, I forget what he says exactly.
He says picnickers.
Oh, yeah.
But the way he says it, you're like, that doesn't sound like picnickers.
Yeah.
So there's no hard C sound there.
There should have been. Yeah, well, because Goofy talks like this.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Oh, wow.
You would think that even just somebody going through the script would say, let's change
that
the
word.
wording of this. Like, hey, picnic havers or something.
Yeah. I used to teach advertising. I always told my students, like, if someone comes up to you and says that looks like this or that sounds like that, or there's an innuendo, most likely a lot of people are going to think that. So you have to rethink that. But some people, like some of the stuff that you see online, you're like, how did they not know that that's what people are going to think?
Yeah.
You know, like the Dune popcorn bucket. You know what I mean? Like, how did they make that?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
it looks like a...
oh, this is so cool.
Yeah, fleshlight
No one
asshole.
at the pitch meeting was like, I want to have sex with that.
I don't know. Maybe it's just like they look at it so much that they I don't know. Or maybe it's also, maybe it is on purpose so that it goes viral. Or
They're
people,
like, people will be talking
know.
about this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or, you know, somebody says, you know, if someone says at the meeting, like, no one's going to think that. They're like, 100% people are going to think that.
Yeah.
You know? It's
Yeah.
funny. I don't know.
Of course they are. People have dirty
Like
minds. You know what? Sex sells.
Yes.
You have a
right.
dirty mind. You say the most disgusting stuff
No,
I've ever
I
heard
do
in my
not.
life.
Like what?
You said that you put a roach in your vagina on one of the
I
episodes.
just listened to that episode yesterday.
Yeah. Sorry, I should.
Did I say that?
I should send out some recommended episodes for people to listen to.
I said that. I did that.
I just
Yeah, you
randomly
said that you
picked
did
it.
that.
I was like, oh.
I don't even remember saying that.
Yeah.
I must have been drugged
Yeah, right.
to say something that disgusting.
Yeah. So what was the and I have the book too, the Hidden Pictures for Adults. What's it called? Can people still get that on
I think
Amazon?
it's Seek and Find for Immature Adults. It's through Awkward Family Photos.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you can get it on Amazon.
And
it's fun.
your latest big hit is the Serious Fart book, which we bought 2 of.
Yes. Yeah.
Because
did you? Oh, thank you.
We did.
Yep.
We visited Philadelphia in November, and my mom still lives in that horrible neighborhood we grew up in.
Yeah.
And and I thought, I said, because I still haven't taken a picture of our kids with the book. I don't know, whatever. It just gets by us. Because I just whatever, wanted to put it on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'll still do it because you probably use the bump now that it's been out for a while. But I wanted to take a picture. I thought, this would be funny if I took a picture of my kids holding the book in front of your childhood home.
Yeah.
And so I bought one when we were there, but then I never got around to taking that photo.
Well, so he lived really close to you.
Yeah. He lived very close. Yeah.
Yeah.
And do your parents still live there, or did they move out of that neighborhood?
My niece lives in my mom. My mom passed away a couple years ago. But,
I'm sorry.
my niece now lives in that house, but she's hopefully getting out of there soon.
Yeah.
Because the neighborhood's not like it used to be. You know, it's pretty dangerous and scary now.
Do you Do you visit Philly a lot?
Occasionally, yeah. I'll I haven't gone down just because I've been busy, but I usually go down for birthdays and different events. Usually go down for St. Patrick's Day to visit with my family because that's actually my my Irish father died on St. Patrick's Day, which I find is hilarious. So we usually get together for something, but this year I just couldn't make it. But yeah, so we go down there a lot.
Well, I've never been to. Is it crazy on St. Patrick's Day, Philly?
Not as crazy as Boston.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because in Boston, everybody's Irish up there.
Yeah, Boston, it's pretty crazy.
Boston gets pretty serious,
Boston.
but Philly gets pretty serious about it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were at Disneyland. We didn't get to. Well, you were drinking beer.
I didn't drink any beer.
At California Adventure.
Oh, I had a beer.
Just saying, isn't that like a beer day?
Okay.
Green beer.
I mean, it's just I think it's just drink anything day. As long as you're vomiting in the streets by sundown.
I had a mimosa that morning. I didn't even finish it though.
Yeah. Now Chuck has an axe to grind with Disney. He hates Disney stuff.
You do? Why?
He's just trying to be. He's trying to be different. He's trying to be different. It's like it's the number one thing.
I have no problem with Disney animation, Disney filmmaking. It's the parks, the amusement parks.
Because you mean they nickel and dime you for everything, and they overcharge.
Yeah.
Well, that's any kind of amusement park, though. Oh, look what I did.
It is. It's yeah.
But Disney,
they're like the king of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well. We have we have a rich and famous friend, Drew Carey, who likes Disneyland, and I got to say, if you got to get yourself,
you need to get a celebrity
rich
friend.
and famous friend
Yeah,
go with them because
that's the thing. Like if you go there, you feel like, well, you're a millionaire. It's a great time.
Yeah.
But if you're not, especially in Florida, it's the worst place on earth.
I've never been to Disney World.
The Orlando situation. Now that's something that could ruin you.
Because you're in Orlando, and I feel like there's not really anything around there, so you're sort of stuck. What I mean,
pornography.
you're just kind of stuck in the resort. Like, at least we live 45 minutes away from Disneyland, so it's not we're there and we're like, oh, we really can't. Like, I don't know. You're like trapped
when you're there,
in
though, you don't. It's not like
but you can bring snacks from home
Anaheim.
and whatever. But you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. But I don't know. I've never been to Disney World.
I've been to Disney World 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Once was during February, which was still hot and sticky and gross.
Ugh.
But I went. My wife's family likes to go in August because it's a little bit cheaper. But
because it's
if you
extra.
have ever been to Florida in August, you might as well just kill yourself.
Florida really is
so unbearably hot.
Yeah.
And
it's not like, and it's not a dry heat. That heat is everywhere.
No, it's wet. I mean, Orlando, and Orlando's nowhere near the coast.
If you want to know what it's like to visit Orlando in August, just go in your bathroom right now, close all the windows and doors, turn your shower on, hot, and then leave and then come back in and hang out in there.
Yeah.
But also I have to make a disclaimer.
The last time we went, people were just throwing up. Like,
oh my God. Oh my God.
Like, to me, after a while, it just became hilarious.
Oh, that's so gross. At Disneyland, too.
I really, listen, Brendan knows, I've really broken this down. If you spend, this is the average, if you spend 12 hours at Walt Disney World, you will, by that point, at the end of those 12 hours, you will have spent 8 hours waiting in line.
Oh my God.
And you will have gone on rides for 15 minutes.
It's crazy.
Well,
that's awful.
And I hate waiting in lines.
Oh yeah. Well, that's. I mean, us being friends with Drew has spoiled us because there's zero waiting.
Well, what about? I wonder, is Disney World more crowded than Disneyland?
Oh, it's like 5 times bigger than Disneyland. I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, are the lines longer?
I don't know. Yeah, I know it was super busy with spring break. A lot of people up here on the Mid-Atlantic and in New England go because they're freezing cold. So a lot of them go down.
Well, that's the nice thing about. Oh, sorry. No, I interrupted you. Yeah. But the nice thing about Disneyland is that it is in Southern California, so the worst weather you're going to get is it's either windy or it's
boiling
rainy.
Hot. It gets hot.
Oh yeah, but who goes in the summer? Yeah. That's crazy.
Tons of people.
But what I'm saying is, if you had gone to Disneyland in February, which is kind of the best time to go, it's kind of cold, but nobody's really there. Like, I feel like at Disneyland, there's good times to go when it's not that crowded. But maybe Disney
listen, we didn't get Chuck to fly all the way out here, and that's funny that Chuck flew out here.
Come on, you should come
to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we didn't have Chuck on to talk about Disneyland.
You brought it up.
Well, yeah. Well, you were the one rapping about it.
I love it.
We should also talk about how I have cursed Disneyland and Disney World and Disney parks.
What's the curse exactly?
And I will not lift the curse. I have friends that contact me every week or two, and they're like, Chuck, lift the curse. And you, Brendan, you contacted me this past weekend, and you said, please, I'm with Drew Carey. Will you lift the curse? And I was like, I will not lift the curse.
Well, what is
Even
the curse
if there is
exactly?
a special needs convention and kids need to have a good time, I will not lift that curse. I hate Disney World so much. I'd much rather people to go to a state park or a national park.
But that's
where
Disney
the animals
World.
aren't animatronic and the waterfalls are real.
That's Disney World. That's not Disneyland. It's not Disneyland.
Disneyland, listen, there's an authenticity to Disneyland, okay? That's what Walt Disney made Disneyland.
He's got an apartment that he used to jack off.
He's got an apartment there.
He used to jack off upstairs at the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, I would like to see that sometime.
We got to so Drew's a member of Club 33, which is the secret Disney club. So you get to there's a Club 33. There's a restaurant, like a very exclusive
dining. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice. We saw Nicolas Cage there.
Not a big deal.
And then there's, what's the other one? 42 Main Street or something, or
60.
Oh, okay.
Dream Street,
No,
69,
you don't know
420 Dream Street, something like that.
420 Smoke Street.
You can get high there.
69.
There's a secret
But there's
marijuana store
I
there.
guess there was an apartment being built for him, or that he lived in, like right before he died.
Above the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, and we got to eat in there one time too.
Yeah, you can walk around.
Yeah, okay.
And go.
So there's cool. I feel like there's cool stuff at Disney World. Just seems like an afterthought. Like, oh, let's make a lot of money off of that. You know? Disneyland. There's
All right,
some
that's enough
there.
about Disneyland. Nobody wants to hear about.
Do you
that.
want
Nobody
one
wants to
more
hear
thing?
about-
I know you hate Disneyland, but Walt Disney's. We live right where Walt Disney used to live.
Oh yeah, the first Disney studio is
our
grocery
Gelson's.
store. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay.
and then
Yeah,
there's,
went
another,
to,
there's a
when I was in
locksmith
Kansas
place.
City. They have an old house there where he didn't create Mickey Mouse, but he came up with the idea for Mickey Mouse, where he had this old kind of factory where he was working, and he had a pet mouse that he named Mickey. So there's like a little. The Cartoon Society tried to make a monument to it, but Kansas City apparently didn't want to pay for it, so the whole building's falling apart. It's kind of sad.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Would you have you ever tried to work for Disney animating or illustrating?
No, I like having a project for a little while and then just moving on to something else. Like some of those, animated movies, you work on them for like some of them are 5 years. I would lose my mind.
Well, I think we talked a while back because I worked for Disney for a little bit on a cartoon. And storyboarding is an interesting
Peanut,
kind
right?
of Pickle and Peanut. Sewer Shark is my favorite episode. If anybody, that's my crowning jewel of things that I wrote.
Finally, I can enjoy my toilet hoagie. Huh? What the? It's a shark!
Sewer Shark, it's a good one. And then there's a couple. The first season there, I made a bunch of those. I mean, came up with the ideas for all the things.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But storyboarding, I think, is something that'd be real easy for you to do.
Yeah, I would like doing that. Yeah, we talked about that too. That you said, if I wanted to do that, I'd have to move out there.
I think so. I mean, you know what? Actually, when COVID started, it would have been a good time to send in your resume because that kind of proved that like nobody really has to be anywhere.
You could do it
anywhere.
But at least
Yeah,
storyboarding is like hand drawn and
It's on a Wacom tablet.
right.
Yeah.
Wacom.
I have right here.
You got one of those? Let's see that.
Yeah.
Ooh, dang. Oh, snap. Did you ever draw a penis on that?
Can you draw a big pair of boobs on
You
that?
really want me to?
Can you draw a big pair of boobs on that?
Do
let's
it.
See, let's see what you're made of.
Oh, you know what? I was going to send you something. I know you guys love making fun of Kanye West like I do. Did you see on eBay right now, there is it's like memorabilia from him. I guess he was writing a song. And in the bottom corner of it he did like a drawing that like a high school kid would do of like a woman with no face with giant breasts. God, it's hilarious.
I want to see it.
I'll have to send it.
I want to buy it.
Yeah. Well, we can see it right here. You can see it right here.
Yeah, we're going to show it right
DJ
here.
put it in the. See, look at that. There you go. You can see it. It'll be there. It'll be there. Look,
Wait,
you can see a picture of the Serious Fart. The Serious Fart book. We didn't even talk about that. Wait, here, cut back to me.
Oh, yeah.
Cut back to me.
Me.
Look, there it is. There's the book right there. Serious Fart.
The most serious fart.
Most serious fart.
Yes. Yeah, I have it
now
here
back
too.
cut back to Chuck. Oh, look, there it is again.
Marley's been
300.
reading to her class.
300 hidden butts.
For the full uncut episode, head to patreon.com/worldrecordpodcast. For the full uncut episode, head to patreon.com/worldrecordpodcast. Patreon.com/worldrecordpodcast.